Good evening, or afternoon rather, friends, seasons, greens, Merry Christmas, whichever you believe. Anyway, I'm gonna try to do a history of LNH video. They aren't actually going to perform this time, but I'm gonna just help you all understand how long I've had this idea. Okay, I need to take you all the way back to 1984, or to them, it was already 2004. I based the future chart on when the Transformers first movie came out and just backed it up a couple of years to make things sound a little more logical than them coming out in 84 and then my future chart started in 2008. It just seemed like too many years in between there, if you know what I mean. So, here we are back in 1984 with just Loco, Psycho, and Grind. Okay, they record a few songs for their Dare to Be Different cassette. Yes, I actually recorded a few songs to be their first album, but I didn't really do much with it. Because I didn't really compile this thing until 2003, which would have been the release year for it, probably. Anyway, actually, Microsurgeon was not their first parody. I hate the fact that it wasn't. You see, back then, Jay really didn't like the Transformers. No idea why. But anyway, most of our early parodies were insults to him. And Michael Surgeon was going to be, it's a fact, Ratchet's a quack. Ratchet being the Transformer doctor. Well, ambulance, Autobot, whatever you want to call him. There wasn't much change to the song except that when it came to that bridge, I was going to sing, "It's a fact, Ratchet's a quack, he's a disgrace to the Autobots." Anyway, needless to say, no one, not even on Galvatron, did they want to hear that song. So we scrapped the project and eventually found Microsurgeon the game, and there's a song around the game, more or less. And he took most of Weird Al's Dare Be Stupid album and itself. The title track, Dare Be Stupid, became Dare Be Different. I Want a New Duck became I Want a New GoBot. One More Minute became One More Second. Yoda became Psykill. And I'm not even sure why I did that. It's as if I was foreseeing Psykill's rebellion against the Guardians. George of the Jungle became Jennifer of the Jungle. Slime creatures from outer space became slime creatures from Cybertron. Girls Just Want to Have Lunch became Aaliyah Just Wants to Have Lunch. I think I might have been working on a version of the Hooked on Pocus on the album, calling it Hooked on Pocus 2, but I didn't have all the details worked out at the time. Okay. Then we decided to perform the concert. Well, these few songs on a makeshift stage on Galvatron. And it's about the time Sakio underwent, well, Sakio left the Guardians to become leader of the Renegades, and they had the battle right in front of our stage. One shot hit the stage, Sakio and I dodged to the left. Well, and Gangway goes to the right, putting us on the villain side for the early 80s up until Challenge of the GoBots was canceled and we were left. What are we gonna do with all these GoBots we collected? Well, I tried coming up with ideas for them to do while still being renegades. And I got this kind of documented in a future talk folder. And Loco and Psycho did do a few little hits. Killer Track. Eventually, I will have them record The Air Is On. That's a parody of The Heat Is On. And their version of Mario Bros. Was done. Well, Ghostbusters called Mario Brothers. And while they were with Wrong Way, I came with the idea for a Bugbuster song, but to me, Mario Brothers made more sense. Um, okay, somewhere down the line, Spoiler and Blockhead joined, and I tried to piece them together. A Super Mario Brothers album. I'm guessing it was designed to be in 2008. I had him do the original Mario Brothers song, a version called Super Mario Brothers. Killer Track made its first appearance there. You're a Fool was based on Fake. I don't remember who did the original of that. Who's That Twit was a parody of Madonna's Who's That Girl. Monstrous Mash made its first appearance there. And I don't think Weird Wing wanted to join them back then. There was a show called Mighty Orbots on around the time, and I can fool around with the lyrics to make a Mighty Puzzler theme. They didn't do much to Starship's We Built This City, except for We Built This City on Rocks and Lords. And that's what before they even knew Crackpot. Whitney Houston's Didn't We Almost Have It All became Didn't We Almost Lose It All. Somehow, I must have known Michael Jackson's Bad was coming because they did a parody of it called Good, but I didn't do much with that. I had them keep the songs from Dare Be Different. I also had them do or turn Richard Marx Don't Mean Nothing into Does Mean Something. And then they did another early Weird Al song. It's Eat It became Feed It. But besides that, not much happened to that. Then, eventually, while we were playing around with our toys as we do, I don't recall the details that caused the Guardians and Renegades to get along with each other. And Loco thought it would be the perfect time for Runway to rejoin the group, and they became the Looney Bin, building up to having Runway and all the others. Hyper was still not with them at this moment. Stallion was off doing his own little thing, but he wasn't having much luck. He became a little bit of a rebel, traveling to another planet, and yes, he was successful there. But back on Goatron, no one knew they experimented singing. So, about 1987, 2007 to them, I planned out a Bugbusters soundtrack to them. Whether I had an idea for a Bugbuster movie, I'll save that for another time. But I did eventually finish up the lyrics to a Bugbuster song. I had both of the Mario themes I had in mind. Backwards tried out back here. It must have been right as soon as that was released. Band was released. I took Michael Jackson's Way You Make Me Feel, turned it into The Way You Make Me Kneel. I Can't Stop Loving You become I Can't Stop Hating You. My other attempt at Bad, called Good, was also on this, along with we built the city on Rocks of Lord and Lords again, Monstrous Smash, and Killer Track. It's a Fang Wretched's a Quack made to that, as well as Microsurgeon. And here's a very rare parody idea, turning Huey Lewis's In the News Do It All For You, My Baby into Doing It All For You Maybe. Then I took another Weird Al classic, Stop Dragging My Car Around, and turned it into Stop Banging My Car Around. And strange thing about them is they try to keep foul language and sex out songs. So when certain George Michael song went on the air in '87, they didn't really like it. And I think Brave Star, the cartoon, was on, and they introduced a strange little drug called Spin. So they tried to turn that song into an anti-drug song and call it Don't Want Your Spin. George Michael's Faith became Haste. They didn't do too much to Fat Boys and Beach Boys remake of Wipeout, except having it be kind of done for my Hot Wheel Wipeout track I had back then. It'll be too tricky to set up, or I would try. It's a strange little track, but at the time I was collecting Hot Wheels, so I got the Leaping Demon, track, and when these guys perform Michael Jackson's Speed Demon, they're kind of referencing it. The My Puzzler thing was back, and Blockhead came out with this weak parody idea for Roger's I Want to Be Your Man to be I Want to Play in Your Band. That's pretty much was Billy Ben's Bugbuster album. It was never recorded at any point. I didn't have the vision of coming up with a separate countdown for them. That didn't come until things built up for back. Well, that's where I am now. Okay. Very excited with this back idea. Music of the late 80s was, just asking for us to come out to try to be a future chart group. Try to go a Billboard with this idea of us. He said it would be better if we had our own countdown. And so it became the future top 10. Yes. Our own little countdown show. Almost done every week. But unfortunately, I keep good records of it. So I didn't say that it started February 2008, 1988, but really, I am the proof. I do a weekly countdown or write it down on anything, so that was hard. But anyway, how did Back come about, Loco? Real? Our first 5 songs recorded. Back, Bugbusters, Speed Demon, Wipeout, and Need You Tonight. Then my demo went missing for a while. That's because my group, Hyper, took it. We put our own songs on it. We try to get it back to you, but I had a little accident. And that led to Hyper being forced to join with you all. And rather being running out Louis Ben and Hyper on all of our albums, we just shortcut it to LNH. Almost like that logo over there, but there were originally spaces between the letters. And we did record, or finish recording, Back! And yes, I am in Michael Jackson's bad pose on that cover. Now, Jay managed to draw me like that, or why? I don't know. It seemed like a good idea at the time. But anyway, Mediate. Mediate was fine. Hazy Share Winter was my idea. Then, as a whole group, we put in Lean on Me, well, Haste, Lean on Me, Heaven Has a Place on Earth. We went to Jade's 45 collection to put Leroy Brown, a very little known song by Tennessee Ernie Ford called The Dogs and Sheriff John. On side 2, Hyper put on the Swing Out Sixers Breakout. Then Don't Want Your Spin. This time we had the Holograms hit on it. It was the first combo song that we ever did. I Wanna Play in Your Band was back. Spoiler did Pink Cadillac. Gal Your Dreams Get Into My Car was on there. Born in the USA became modified on Govotron. Man in the Mirror was a sort of good choice to let everyone know. At the time, I realized I wasn't supposed to insult on these songs we were doing. I had to get back to basics. They did Terrence Trent Darlings, Wishing Well, Aerosmith's Angel, Excess of Devil Inside, and Whitney Houston's Where Do Broken Hearts Go, and Pet Shop Boys' You Are Always on My Mind. And Hyper had a little thing called We're the Hyper, we're really rad. That it just kind of threw in at the end of it. Okay, that was more or less the back album for us. The tape didn't really last very long, unfortunately. It got tight on us. They gave it to a friend to loosen it up, but the friend lost it. So he has to go back to the recording studio for what would it be? LNH Piano in the Dark. That was a nice little album to piece together. We didn't do very many parodies on it. We just had fun for playing the songs, really. That's all future albums are. Your favorite songs, just make up a group to sing them and go with it. So, I had Piano in the Dark, Together Forever, Material Girl. Surprisingly, we liked Midnight Oil's Beds Are Burning enough to put out on an album. We still liked Excess at the time, so New Sensation was up there. Spoiler and Crasher did Now Girls Need Love 2. I brought back The Way You Make Me Kneel. I wouldn't mind performing that for you all. It's where We All Sleep Alone came from. And, and Pet Shop Boys, What Have I Done to Deserve This, became What Have I Done to Deserve You. Breakout was back because during the demo for back, we accidentally recorded over part of it. And Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone became Vapor Zone. A strange little side project Jay had to really help out his space defense idea. And yeah, it seemed like they disappeared for a while. Well, that's where they ended up going, the Vapor Zone. And yes, we were going to be eventually responsible for the movies involving the Vapor Zone. we liked the group called the Breakfast Club's Ron Track, so we did that. We did Bruce Springsteen's Tower of Love. A little known parody of Lionel Richie's Dancing on the Ceiling became Break on the Ceiling as if we were supposed to breakdance. Well, They're Gonna Give You Up was on here in our first performance of a Chicago song. I Don't Want to Live Without Your Love made to the album. And we conclude it with the parody of INXS's Guns on the Sky. You know me, I hate cuss words. When Jay got the Kick album and it started with that song, we hated it. So I did something humorous with it. We called it Crumbs in the Chair. And just having fun, and it worked. Well, I'm surprised we made it this far in 26 minutes. Well, I think the album got tied on us too, but this time they got wise and made a backup copy of the song list. Poured back. It took us so long to remember every song in the original order, and then backtrack our future chart to pinpoint the week it probably started, filling all the gaps. Okay, like I said, Vapor Zone did lead into a movie. We didn't want to do much of a soundtrack because we already had 2 albums out. And really, at that time, when you first come up with the idea like the feature chart, you gotta keep the music fresh or you're gonna lose it. So, we did go ahead and plan a very weak soundtrack to the movie. We just had the title cut, the Space Events theme back. Van Halen's Jump, because Jay did have this idea for an organization called Jump. I'm sure I'll go into more detail about what they were about some other time. This is just on that. And he'll explain more on where he came up with the idea for an original song called There Is a Way Out at a later time. But that was more or less Vapors on One. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and acknowledge the song from the Vapors on 2 and 3 soundtrack. Because, well, I had no choice but to go ahead and make this thing. Supposedly, popularity of the Vapor Zone was that big. More or less, something happened in the second movie that caused all kinds of video game characters to be involved. So I thought, what else to do with it than to just take the Pac-Man Fever album and just add a few songs to it. So that's exactly what LNH did. Pac-Man Fever, Frogger's Lament, O2 a Centipede became O2 a Millipede. During the Donkey Kong, Hyperspace became Stealth Device. And the Defender became Defender Stargate theme. Mousetrap was left alone. Berserk left alone. Smooth Criminal was okay for him in this. They brought back Microsurgeon, Mario Bros, and, well, the title track, Vapor Zone. Yeah, so at the time, I returned. I needed some catching up to do. They already had a few albums on me. What can I do? Well, I threw together my own little greatest hits from the songs I recorded at the Party Planet. So out from nowhere, here comes I heard through the grapevine. Tiffany's all this time. All by myself. Roy Orbison's You Got It. Heaven only knows it's a Richard Marx song. I'd like to perform that for you all eventually. Rock Around the Clock, early in the morning. See you later, alligator. Burn Rubber, Two Hearts. Rock With You. Black Water, Let's Train to Clarksville. Mediate by Itself. And I Don't Believe You Want to Get Up and Dance, Oops. And I tried to squeeze in last Parents Freebird, but I ran out of space. Well, yeah, what's his album? I'm getting kind of close, but I think we can squeeze in our the hits collection. Yes, in the middle of having all these albums out, I still had to convince some of our fans that yes, we are the same people that did Microsurgeon. So I put out we put out our greatest hits collection, and though it has a bunch of new songs thrown in there too. Here's a Time of Life. Yes, that suits its group. I Want to Live Without Your Love, Break on the Ceiling, Man the Mirror, Down in the Dark. We like Kenny Loggins' Nobody's Fool, Pink Cadillac. I did kind of a combination for Mario Bros. And Super Mario Brothers. You know, All For You Maybe. I came up with this strange idea to turn UB40's Red Red Wine into Red Red Dime. They're gonna give you up. Crumbs in the Chair. Transparent Darby, its dance little sister, became the dance little sister. Look Away. Vapors On Again. Michael Jackson's Hard Day, We Left Alone. Bugbuster, Killer Track. Oh yeah, we like Poison's Nothing But a Good Time. We did Jump Again. Here's where Pocket's Automatic came in, they mentioned. Um, we like the third remix of George Michael's Monkey, so it was on here. And we gotta give a shout out to one of Jay's other future chart groups for helping us with that. They were called Wrap It Up. Expect to hear from them eventually. If Jay can come up with some kind of action figure or something to represent them. That's how come we're the only future chart group that you're gonna really see. They already don't have action figures. Microsurgeon. My prerogative is here, but I don't say a certain word. I say I don't give a crud or something like that. There Is a Way Out was on that, and We're the Hyper. Hits, Volume 1, Part 2. Oh yeah, I didn't show those albums yet. But there they are. And here's Stallion's Greatest Hits, because I kind of skipped over that. And the Vapor Zone 2 and 3 soundtrack. Be careful, Biss. Way to go. I'm glad I'm almost done with this. Anyway, their hits Volume 2 and Haste. Don't Wipe Your Skin. Billy Gibson's Stand Together. Here Tonight, Me 8. Wham's Wake Me Up Before You Go became Wake Me Up Before the Go-Go's, referring to the group when they split. I think the group was Boy Meets Girl that did Waiting for a Star to Fall. They did Waiting for the War to End. And that's kind of wrong way. It's first attempt at lead singing, talking about wanting to go back Civil War to be over so he can be with us. They threw in Daily Roth's Just Like Paradise. I Wanna Play Your Band was back. Space Fence thing was on there. What Have I Done to Deserve You? The Way You Make Me Kneel. Hates and Shit Winter. Dare Be Different. Back It's Back, really back came because we have plans to re-release the back album. But it really didn't happen at this moment. We just want to tell everyone, we're working on it. And when we do, it's going to be back, really back. And there at a certain point, it'll say, it's reissued, it's back, From Oliver and Company, we did Good Company. Boy Being My Baby. I always like white lines when children cry. So I put a version of that here. Pac-Man Fever made it, and another Space Events mini plot called Space Battles, more or less a parody of the Transformers thing was on there. And well, that's all I think we can cover on this first part of our history. As you can see, we have been around since the early 80s. Our music proves it. So, stay tuned, and eventually I'll do part 2 of this series, which will cover a bulk of their career. I might have to subplot that one. Goodbye for now.